Hello everybody and welcome. I am the Grounded Glasgow, your favorite Iron Holy PokeTuber of this channel, and today I am your coach of the Lowland Nidoqueens for the MBA Season 8. And this team builder is for the Montgomery Marowaks, coached by Big EZ. So, Big EZ is a rival of mine. He has the match I was nervous the most about. Big EZ and me have a history. The history is actually we did some battles before, and eventually we have now come to the point. I'm sorry. We've now come to the point. The score between us is 4-1, and we're actually gonna try and see if your Lowland Nidoqueens can come 4-2 against EZ and me. By the time of this, the score for EZ is 3-0, and for your Lowland Nidoqueens are 4-0. EZ was lacking a match, but he is gonna catch up, so that's why. Either way, I will go over the draft that he has. I will go over my draft, and then I will go over the team that I have right here. So Big EZ has a team of Landorus Terrian, Skarmory, Kyurem Black, Slowking, Florges, Sharpedo Mega, Blaziken, Swampert, Zipstrika, Skuntank, Musharna, and Armaldo. As for our team, if you have not known so far for the weeks, we have Latias, Talonflame, Aggro Mega, Gardevoir, Vaporeon, Chestnut, Druddigon, Hitmontop, Omastar, Gourgeist, Kangaskhan, and Swellow. So, I built this team with a friend of mine, because I needed some support on this, because I was getting crazy. So he actually helped me out right here. So we actually came up with this team, and we have the idea. Since EZ has a very threatening draft, as we already saw, we're going for the win, of course, but we actually made a team to prevent a 6-0. That's actually what we have done right here. So I will go over the teams we're actually going to take him on with, and then we're actually, I will also explain you the thought process of it. So as well, I looked at Big EZ's team, we also noticed that Kyurem Black is just a humongous threat to our draft, and that's why we needed an answer. And to be honest, the same as with the Manaphyla from last time, we actually have Naya Jax the Kangaskhan in with the Assault Vest with Inner Focus this time, instead of Early Bird or Scrappy, because looking at this team, Early Bird or Scrappy wasn't giving us actually something we needed, and Inner Focus has maybe the chance to take on also the Sharpedo, for example, with Waterfall, that it can't flinch us and we still can go for Drain Punch. So we are actually running Inner Focus, Assault Vest with Drain Punch, Ice Punch, Crunch, and Fake Out with almost max HP, 228 attack and 32 defense. We needed this defense and the HP to actually round down the damage that Kyurem Black did to us and the Sharpedo if needed. I actually, did I? No, I don't think so. Alright, so actually on this team right now, Kangaskhan can actually take on the Kyurem Black. It is a switch in, because the Assault Vest isn't doing as much. The Assault Vest, holy damn. The special moves that Kyurem has cannot pretty much hurt Naya Jax right here. And every damage that she takes, actually she's gonna recover it from Drain Punch. Ice Punch is just there for the Landorus Terrian as well, to actually hit that so it doesn't wall us, even though it is the Intimidate. We have Crunch to hit things like Musharna, Florges, all that kind of stuff, and we have Fake Out just for overall damage, because the other things that are here we don't want to be on there. Like we don't want to be in on Skarmory, we don't want to be in on Florges, no Blaziken, Swampert neither, just some things like that. And this is just a hard hitting Pokemon so far, and we can do some good damage with the 228 attack right here. Fake Out was a less filler move because we didn't know actually what to do. We were sitting down with this a while, and we also looked at the options of maybe adding a Whirlpool Naya Jax with Power Up Punch. So we can maybe trap the Skarmory and then we could Power Up Punch up against it. Which wasn't actually the idea we wanted to go for, due to the fact that it could carry the Whirlwind, which actually screw us over. So we actually kind of moved that out of the table, and we didn't want to give Naya Jax too many rolls for the match, so that's why we stick to this. So the next Pokemon right here, we have Bubble Jet, the Vaporeon with the Leftovers ability, with Water Absorb, with Heal Bell, Scald, Wish, and Protect. With 192 HP, 252 defense, and 64 special defense. This is pretty much a sort of standard Vaporeon spread. Just bulk, heal, wish, protect, scald. Scald is just to do overall damage and maybe get some burn off on some Pokemon which we need to, like for example Skarmory. We can burn, you can maybe burn even Swampert if we need to. Landorus would be nice, Kyurem would even be nice, just some things like that, you know. This is guaranteed a switch in for the Swampert if you might bring it. This can also be a switch into the Blaziken. It can be a switch into the Sharpedo for a waterfall, not for Crunch because Crunch will do over half, but still. It's a good water absorber to actually abuse it, and if we're at low health we can just waterfall away and then we can absorb it and gain some health back. So that was actually what we were going for. We needed the Cleric on the team and you will see later on why. We have Scald just for overall damage in the Burn as explained, and Wish protects for healing and maybe passing on. We have leftovers for just because we want some healing in between. And now I'm actually explained it all about Vaporeon, so I can actually now move on to the third Pokemon added on the team, which is Free Hugs, the Rocky helmet holding Chestnut. Making his comeback after he smacked his belly for some time in week 1, and now he's actually won the back, prove himself that he is worthy of being here again. It's Rocky Helmet bulletproof with Synthesis, Drain Punch, Seed Bomb and Leech Seed with almost max HP, 8 attack and 252 defense. We didn't want to go the sweeper route because we just needed so much bulk on this team to actually take on his threats, because for team preview already has the advantage. But this thing is actually a switch into the Landorus Tyrion. It is also a good switch in against the Sharpedo, which this is actually built for. Because he can't do much to us due to the Rocky Helmet. We can Leech Seed up if we need to, we can Seed Bomb, we can gain health back also for Drain Punch for the Kyurem, and Synthesis just to stay healthy as possible. So this is actually pretty standard. It's actually a self-explanatory set right here to actually take on his biggest threats. And we also looked at his team and we changed up the team a bit after I noticed that he could pretty much run Animate, because after 1 speed boost he outspeeds on the entire roster. If he is Animate, that's the thing, so that's why I thought of he would do that. We had the Belly Drum set on here again, but as I said before, we didn't want to go the sweeper route because we just want other Pokemon to shine. So this thing is actually the switch in for the Landorus mostly. It can maybe take on the Sharpedo as I said before if it needs to, but we have another dedicated switch in for that. So moving on to the third Pokemon right here, Brexit the Druddigon, after we traded him away. I will explain also what we drafted away and why we have this. Brexit is our RU draft pick. We traded away Manectric and we picked up Druddigon. The reason why we dropped Manectric and took Druddigon is because we didn't need the electric typing, to be honest, because we lost Jolteon and Manectric misses out on so much. And so far we are in week 6 at the moment, and it didn't it didn't come once so far, I believe. I think it's gonna come sometime, but not anytime soon. So that's actually why we swapped it out. So we're actually running the Life Orb Sheer Force with Adamant with a kind of odd spread, but I will explain also why. We have Thunder Punch, Gong Shot, Sucker Punch and Rock Slide. Adamant Nature, this thing was actually, we looked at it for a bulky set and also what it could do. But this thing can do so much to his entire team. If we play our cards right, it can do a lot to his team with the speed investment as well. Because we are now ready to outspeed Florges. We are just his old slower mons. Let me check. Because with the current speed we have, we reach 178, which means that, let me pull up my document because I wrote it down. Let's see, where is it? I think I got it right here. Yes, I do, I have it right here. Let's see, because Florges is a base speed of, what is it? Florges is a base speed of 75 and Druddigon is 48. We actually use this 220 speed to outspeed an uninvested Florges. Shout out to my man the Flying Bird, welcome to the video. With this we also managed to outspeed his other mons like the Skuntank, Musharna, Armaldo, We are also able to outspeed the Skarmory, which we decided. We ran Ice Punch before to actually do damage to the Lando as well. But we have a dedicated switch in for that, and this is pretty much also for the Skarm, because Skarm can be an issue. That's why we decided over Thunder Punch, because we can hit more than with Ice Punch, and B, we have also the chance of Paralyze, which I would rather get than a Freeze. So we have Gunk Shot just overall for massive damage output, and to hit Forges for super effective damage, because with Adamant, Life Orb, Sheer Force, we have a chance to OHKO the Forges. Sucker Punch is just to get a final blow off if we need it, and Rock Slide is just there overall to do damage to the Kyurem potentially. That is just why we decided on this. 32 HP and the 4 in defense were just there because we just needed the max attack and the speed, so we dropped it kind of off to also get an odd number right here. So we want to welcome Brexit to the squad, and actually we are gonna move on to our 5th one. Our 5th one is Mr. Draco, the female Life Orb holding Latias with Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Draco Meteor, Defog with 74 HP, 168 special attack and 248 speed. This speed is very specific. This speed is to outspeed a non-speed boosting Sharpedo before Mega Evolving, because Sharpedo caps out at 317 and we kept out at 318, so that's why. We decided to lower the special attack and gain some bulk, because we didn't need the full special attack, because we hit overall just hard. And also with the 380 speed, we also managed to outspeed the Kyurem Black, which is amazing. So Mr. Draco right here can do super effective damage to pretty much his entire team, or do a big chunk to them and shut the hell up. Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, Thunderbolt can hit the Skarmory. It can hit the Sharpedo just for damage. Imp! Jesus! Alright, then close that up. Thank you. Alright, so we can now actually hit the Sharpedo. We can hit the Skarmory. Ice Beam is just for overall damage to the major thing on this team, because we can also hit the Landors now for super effective damage. We can do damage to pretty much everything for neutral, which is resisted, we can smack them with Draco Meteor. And Defog is to get hazards away. We were not clear if we wanted Defog or Roost, but since we don't have a hazard removal, we probably would want a Defog, because Spike Stack is an option. I think we're lacking some recovery though, because we have the Life Orb and then just Wish Pashing, which wouldn't pack out more good for me, I think. So that's just that. This is just... Oh, I'm sorry guys, it's very late. So this is just for the overall, a little bit more bulk, not massive, but a bit, in both stats which we gain, instead of dropping it in one stat. I see Mr. Draco do a lot, actually, to his team, because if we can switch it in and he doesn't have any Scarfers and we only need to fear Sharpedo, we have a very good opportunity to actually run through. And then our last one, we needed Alloy the Mega Aggron with the filter ability with Avalanche, Toxic, Thunder Punch and Rest. We were debating about several ones we needed to bring, and I wasn't really sure, and my friend wasn't either. Because we were deciding between Mega Aggron, let me see. We were also deciding between, where is my page of the document? We were deciding between Gardevoir, we were deciding between Swellow, Aggron, Talonflame, but finally we decided that we would run this because it has the opportunity to take on the Landorus 1v1. The reason why we say that he can take it on one-on-one, if he hits us with an Earthquake, we can hit him back with an Avalanche, and even at -1 we can do a massive chunk and we have a chance to OHKO. Toxic is just pretty much there to lower his walls down and maybe lower it a bit for Latias to actually come through. Nia Jax or Brexit. Thunder Punch is to the Skarmory, which maybe one of all was, and then rest just to recover up if we get burned for Scald or something, or if he wants that, for example, that's called Sharpedo, which is an option. And this is just a reason we decided on the standard spread right now because it is standard, which we normally run, but it isn't broken. What isn't broken doesn't need to be fixed. Mega Aggron does well with this because there's an amazing 550 defense. You don't need to buff it pretty much. Well, you can, but it isn't recommended. Because it would be a waste of EVs. The 60 just gives a little bit more bulk. We needed a bit special bulk to actually live and hit from Kyurem. And the HP just also to live and hit from Kyurem. And then also work together with the defenses. I think Aggron is also to switch into the Sharpedo to an extent. Because it can take on crunches and waterfalls. Not very long. But it can. So this is pretty much the team builder for now. It wasn't very in depth, but I tried. And I'm just too hyped for this match right now, to be honest. Because me versing easy is just too hyped for me. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching to this team builder, and now we're actually gonna move on to the battle. So we'll see you in a second. Bye. Hello everybody and welcome. I am the grounded Dutch, your favorite Iron Ball holding PokeTuber on this channel, and we are actually back right now with the battle. You previously saw the team builder, and now we're actually gonna go through the battle. So I explained a couple minutes before here why we brought this team. You can click at the beginning of the video and see the team builder if you want to. If not, then we're just going to continue with the match. So we're facing Easy, our rival, as we could consider it. Because the matches between Easy and mine are currently 4-1 in his favor. And we're actually going to try to turn it back around. So it actually brings Kyurem Black, Musharna, Skarmory, Landorus, Blaziken, and Sharpedo. I expected Kyurem, Skarmory, Landorus, and Sharpedo, but I didn't expect Blaziken and Musharna. We prepped for them, but I didn't expect them. So actually what I thought of right here, I wasn't really sure what to lead off with here, because he has so many potential leads, because he has 4 potential leads actually. He can open up with Skarm, he can open up with Lando, he can open up Blaziken and Sharpedo. Sharpedo can be just to get a quick manga off and gain the speed. Blaziken can just set up Sword Stance and maybe get some sweep action going, and Skarmory and Lando can potentially set up rocks. So I decided in the end to actually open up with my Draudigan and then go from there. So I'm actually gonna open up with my Draudigan, as he is actually gonna open up with his Blaziken. So right here I didn't quite know what to do, but I was doing some calcs and I saw the Gong Shot was an Oko, just straight up Oko. So I actually wanted to go for that, as he's gonna miss his Will-O-Wisp, and I go for Gong Shot and take his Blaziken out turn 1. I was pretty hyped about this because it would give us a quick advantage for the match. So next up, he's actually gonna swap in his Landorus. So I'm actually gonna swap out right here into my Chestnut, because it was my counter actually, as it goes for Earthquake, and and next he's actually gonna set up a Stealth Rocks as I go for Leech Seed, and I now saw that he wasn't scarred, but I also didn't saw leftovers. So right here I was actually making myself crazy, because I had the idea that he may be Power Herb Fly. So I really thought that, to be honest, for a second, because Easy talked about also to me in the beginning of the season, oh, I have drafted Lando, I will get that HP Flying on your Chestnut if you need to, if you think that's a switch in. And then I also heard the option later from, I'm gonna use Power Herb Fly, so I was actually kind of scared of that, but I in the end decided to stay in. Oh, I swapped actually out, I was really afraid of it, and just in case I switched into Bubble Jet. Bubble Jet actually was a good switch into this part, and I was actually going for the Scald, fishing for the burn, which you don't get, as you're actually gonna Whirlwind, and I kind of knew what kind of Skarmory was going to be. We saw the leftovers, but then Ladi came in, which I was pretty happy about, and then we're gonna reveal the Thunderbolt on his Musharna, and see that this Musharna is special defensive. I'm actually gonna swap out because I don't want to take any move. And I'm actually now going into Aggron, as he's gonna go for Moonlight. So actually I was gonna Mega and then Toxic right up here, because I don't know what the Musharna is gonna do, so that's why I went for it. As it's synchronized, but it doesn't work, and he's gonna set up Calm Minds. So right here, Big Easy actually scared the hell out of me, because I didn't know what the Musharna would do. Would it be sweeping or whatever, and I didn't really check what Musharna does. So that's why, as I'm actually gonna now swap out into the Draudigan, because I didn't expect him to attack me. As he's gonna Baton Pass into his Kyurem right here. So I was very afraid of this already, and actually decided to Sucker Punch and then let Brexit go down right here. because I didn't have a proper switching, because I couldn't risk Nia Jax right here as I told it was a switching, because I couldn't. So now I actually switch in Nia Jax right here. Because I actually could take it on, and I go for Drain Punch because it would be my safest play, and I saw that he didn't have Rocky Helmet. So he's actually gonna now, I'm actually gonna swap out into my Latias right here, A to defog, and B, if he roosted, we would have a safe switch in, nothing happened. And he's actually gonna swap right out into his Musharna right now, as I am actually gonna defog, predicting his swap. So he is going to take a little bit more of toxic damage, and I actually decide to drop a Draco, but it doesn't kill him, as he's going to live, and he's actually going to Shadow Ball right here, which isn't going to take me out luckily. But he has one more hit in his Musharna left, and I'm actually going to Thunderbolt and take his Musharna out. So there's no more baton passing for him. So next up, he's actually going to swap in once a month to Sharpedo, and I didn't know what to do, so I actually swap out for later, and I go just to Aggron because I can deal with it. Actually got to pull a double into the Landorus, and I was prepared for this. So he actually goes for the Stealth Rock again, as I go for the Avalanche and do 48%, and he didn't even attack me. So now he's actually going to U-turn, so I take 4%, and either way I'm now going again for the Avalanche. And through the Skarmory it will do about 10%, it is still 10%, as I needed to expect him pretty much here to Whirlwind me out and maybe do some damage. But I'm actually going to straight swap out in the Bubble Jet, and I wanted to get a Wish off. So he's actually going to Brave Bird straight up, which I didn't expect. I probably should have just stayed in and went for the Thunder Punch, to be completely honest. But I decided to Wish right here on this Whirlwind. So I went to the Latias, and I wasn't really clearly thinking right here. I had to open the damage calc to see how much Thunderbolt will do, because it was out of 30. And I was like, alright, if I KO Skarmory right here, I will gain my Wish back. So it wasn't that bad. So what I actually decided to do, I was going for Thunderbolt, expecting him to KO and then get the Wish back. What happens? I'm gonna Thunderbolt. He is gonna live because he predicted this, and that's a Life Orb. So I wasn't clearly thinking right here. So he's gonna Whirlwind, so I would have gotten my Wish anyway. But still, I maybe would have got my Latias if I had clicked Defog, for example. So I actually go for Bubble Jet, and I actually go for the Scald. I thought it would KO, but it didn't. So he's actually gonna Whirlwind me out again into Chestnut right here. I was very mad about the Whirlwinding strategy, and I was gonna get pretty mad about it. And so now actually he's gonna go to the Landorus, as I'm actually gonna Leech Seed and make the safe play. Because I wanted also some overall damage on the Skarmory if he may roost it, so I could actually take it on. But also another reason why I went for Leech Seed is because I remembered Easy telling me in the past that he likes to preserve his low mounts as dead fodder for later. And I kept that in mind, and I predicted him to actually save his Skarmory. That's why I went for the Leech Seed. So still, I'm not afraid of the Landorus. He's gonna get hurt by the Rocky Helmet, so now he has 2 fodders. But actually, I predicted the U-turn and go for the Seed Bomb still, because I just wanted to get the KO out of there. So he's gonna U-turn out to secure him, and this play right here was very hard for me. I didn't quite know what to do, because I know I needed to sack to Nia Jax. I need to sack something, and then I need to go to Nia Jax. So it actually happened right here. I was thinking, and I looked at his team. He has Sharpedo left. He has a Skarmory, which is almost dead. He has a Landorus, who's almost dead, and he has this thing. So I thought by myself that I could sack off Chestnut right here, because Chestnut wasn't doing anything much for me, because I have also things that could take on the Landorus, and maybe even the Skarmory. So I actually decided to sack it off right here, and then go safely to Nia Jax. Nia Jax here gives me the opportunity to actually take on the Kyurem Black, as he's actually gonna swap out into his Landorus to A, get the Intimidate off, and B, sack it off. But he isn't gonna die actually, and I still wasn't sure on his item, and we saw it wasn't Rocky Helmet, so we actually decided to actually go into the Bubble Jet and sack it off. So I have 2 months left right now, and I'm actually gonna go to Nia Jax right now, and I actually click Fake Out right here just to get a kill and don't have to bother with the Intimidate drop. So actually goes now to the Kyurem right here, and I thought, alright, I could take this on, as he crits me the first time, and I was afraid it would be a crit freeze, but I do 41% to him with Drain Punch, and I actually wanted to continue with the Drain Punch, as he reveals the Roost, and I was like, alright Easy, you can Roost, I don't care. I will do 39 to 41% or something. I gain my health back, so you actually don't gain anything from this. So now it's actually going to click Fusion Build just to see how much it do. And as you see, it does 37%. And after the Drain Punch, I get taken on anyway. So I'm at 48% right now. And I actually knew he was going to roost. So I actually went for the Drain Punch one more time. And then I actually looked also at my PP and such. And I actually expected him to stall me out of Drain Punches. So actually going to roost right here. And I made a misplay then. And no, it's not here. I actually went for the Drain Punch once again because I needed some more health. And after seeing some more roosts, I was kind of getting scary right now. And I actually misplayed right here and went for the Drain Punch because I expected him to actually roost stall me. So now he's actually going to swap into Skarmory right here as I'm actually going to Drain Punch and have some more health. So now Skarmory dies, it's 2 versus 2 and actually goes to Sharpedo right here. And to be honest, I made a misplay right here. I should have stayed in. Because as far as I probably know, we could have lived. I wasn't entirely sure. But I actually swapped out the Mega Aggron by right here because we could take it on one-on-one. I hope so. So it actually goes for the Crunch instead of the Protect. So we could have lived potentially. But it goes for the double Crunch and I actually go for the Thunder Punch right here. And I do around 75%. Ashley is going to go for the Crunch again. And takes down my Mega Aggron. And I decided to go to Nia Jax. And I have one more chance right here. And my chance was to KO him with Fake Out and then move on. So it actually reveals the Protect on my Fake Out, so I can't get it off and I miss out on the KO potentially. And I'm actually going to go Aqua Jet because Easy told me after the match he expected me to actually have Sucker Punch. So the Drain Punch is actually going to kill him. And then he goes to the Kyurem right here. As he's going to go for the Fusion Bolt and just take me out. So we lost against Easy. It was a 1-0. I'm not mad about it. At the time, I was mad about the match though. Because it didn't really matter for me how hard I prepped. It looked for me I always would lose against Easy. But now I kind of know how to play with his team. He knows how to play with my team. So I also told him I want to see him in playoffs. The rematch is going to happen and then we're actually going to smack him, I told him. Because we are still rivals and I still actually want to have a chance of beating him. Because that HP Fire Scissor is just not going to let him go. So actually, this was going to be the match, and due to this match, we are actually going to be 4-1 right here. We still have a couple weeks to go. We have done 5 weeks by this time. Because we still need to do week 2, because Jerome wasn't available. And we're actually going to do that later. And then we have 6 weeks left, we have playoffs left, and we have the final left. So I actually want to make playoffs. So I'm actually aiming for that right now. And 4-1 isn't bad. So thank you so much for watching this episode. I had a really fun time against Easy with the battle. So anyway, leave a like if you did. And subscribe if you have not. And support your Lowland Nidoqueens in the future. But anyway, above all else, I will actually see you in the next video whenever I'm going to make. So I will see you next time, everyone. Bye!